Have you ever thought about your Cyclone units and thought, these guys deserve to have some talents? Well, today, I thought it'd be interesting to make up talents for each of these units that not only make them better against their targeted type, but possibly better in a general sense as well. If you think these cats should have different talents than what I give them, then certainly say so in the comments. Clarifications. Even though most of these units are anti-metals, it wouldn't make sense for them to have the same general talents available, as they all do slightly different things, and it wouldn't make sense if they all scale the same either. This is why cats like Quizmaster won't have attack up, and his defense talent will scale differently in comparison to someone like future cats. Quizmaster, talents, defense up, 5 NP per upgrade, 10 at level 5, total HP increase 80%, 27k HP by level 30, KB upgrade, 5 NP per upgrade, 10 at level 5, total KB chance 30% to then 50% by max, attack frequency up 10 NP per upgrade, level max 5. He gains his original attack speed, 35% up or 35% more attack speed. Strong versus 100 NP. Total NP cost 300. Quizmaster with these talents would both reasonably make him better and keep him balanced. In his first form, he was described as having ridiculous health. In his final form with an 80% defense up, he'll be able to live that out with a total of 27k HP by level 30. And when accounting for knockbacks, he'd have 13k HP, all for a total of 75 NP. A talent that raises his knockback chance is an obvious choice, as he becomes better at his job in his final form, for a total of 75 NP in order to get a 50% chance per hit. But attack frequency up isn't as much. I believe it'd be interesting if he went back to his original attack speed that we see in his first form without the cons of having a lower KB chance, lower range, or lower HP. The final one I gave him was Strong Versus, a one-time buy talent for 100 NP. With this, he'd have 55k HP against metals, and per KB, 27k HP, doubling his effectiveness and making him an actually solid defensive unit. At level 50, he'd actually be sort of a tank with an effective HP of 87k and 43k HP per KB. Mixed with his incredible KB chance, area attack, 190 range, and his 1.7 second attack rate, all you need is one of him to reasonably push metals back hard. He'd be like Dr. Cat with area attack and high HP. In the end though, I think this is fair. Quizmaster is and always has been seen as a mid unit at best, and this would improve him a lot, though he'd still only be usable against metals. Space Marine, talents, defense up 5 NP per upgrade, 10 by level 5, total increase 20%, 12k HP at level 30, crit chance 5 NP per upgrade, max level 5, total crit chance 12%, originally 8%, recover speed up 5 NP per upgrade, 10 by level 5, total recovery speed 4 seconds, improved knockback 20 NP, level 3 max, total knockbacks 6, barrier breaker 10 NP per upgrade, max level 5, he gains an 80% chance to break barriers, total NP cost 320. There's not too much you can add to Space Marine without making them OP, but I think this will be pretty balanced. A lot of these are very obvious to add. Improved crit chance, of course. Better recovery speed, why not? The only kind of questionable talent here is the improved KB, as his health is already very low with a max of 12k by level 30. Though I think this is a solid talent, as if this cat happens to get grazed by Peon, they'll be knocked back by only 2k HP worth of damage. Noodle, talents, defense up, standard pricing, total HP increase 20%, 8.1k or 40k HP v metals by level 30. KB immunity for 50 NP, KB decline 25 NP, max level 3, total knockbacks 1, cost down standard pricing, total cost 150c, total NP cost 350. Noodle's biggest problem is the fact that outside of a small part of the game, his defense is seriously lacking, and in mixed stages he's terrible. This is especially caused by his bad KB count of 3 for a unit of this nature, meaning that naturally at level 30 versus metals, he gets 11k HP until he's pushed back. A natural cost of 360 also makes him way harder to use, as at that point, using him in tandem with any other meat shield will drain your wallet, unlike lower costing ones like Eraser and Mohawk. I just like the idea of introducing new talents into this, as I could just do that for everybody, but I added this because it's one of the only ways to make him better at what he's supposed to do. So welcome KB decline or KB degradation. With one knockback, he'd have a total of 40k versus metals without being knocked back, and each time he hits, he'll have a terrible 3% crit chance. But due to his spam ability and newfound defense, he might be able to take on a little extra damage with your regular critters. Unlike Quizmaster, who becomes kind of a menace against metals once fully talented, Noodle doesn't need extra defense versus metals thanks to his resistant ability, which is why I gave him a 20% increase by level 10 with standard pricing instead of an 80% one. KB immunity should be a little obvious, as it's to specifically counter Super Metal Hippo, an enemy with a 100 KB chance, and no matter what, a hard pusher if you can't kill him in time. Cost down reduces him to 150C, which is identical to the Eraser variant and makes him usable on side them. This ult isn't enough to exactly catch up with Modern Cat's tanking abilities, as by his true form he'd have 66k HP by just level 30, but it does make Noodle more useful in metal stages, even with Modern if using both at the same time is viable. Puppetmaster and Charley. Talents: Defense up standard pricing, total increase 10%, 15k HP by level 30. Attack frequency up 5 NP per upgrade, max level 5, total increase 50%, 1 second attack rate. Multi-hit plus 1 for 50 NP, 4 hits, 200 NP in total. Total cost 300. Puppetmaster is already a pretty great cat, and there aren't many ways to upgrade him without him becoming more of a monster against metals. The most striking one is definitely multi-hit, as it's again another talent we haven't seen before. But multi-hit on a unit that attacks a total of 4 times makes too much sense for this not to be here, and it's totally broken. This means that Puppetmaster each time they attack have a 30% chance of slowing a metal enemy for 6 seconds 4 times. And with their attack frequency doubled, then it's basically guaranteed that with just one, your metal seal for example that you're fighting will be slowed down forever. Though with only a 10% defense up through talents, he's still a bit fragile. If metals are coming out quickly or if the stage is mixed, he'll hit enemies that he doesn't affect instead of his intended targets. Through this, his usefulness is only helped through talents on metal only stages instead of mixed ones as well, like Quizmaster for example. And usually Puppetmaster wouldn't need any of these talents to continue being an effective cat. Hoopmaster. Talents: Defense up standard price, total increase 20%, 17k HP by level 30. Move speed up, standard price, total increase 45%, 9 to 20. Freeze. Duration 10 NP, max level 5. Freeze durations 4 seconds to 6 seconds. Target a coup plus surge immunity, 150 NP. Shield breaker 10% chance, 75 NP. Total cost 425 NP. To me, Hoop has always just been an alright unit, but these talents would help him out a bit in multiple areas and give him a different niche. Defense up is standard, but extra movement speed might seem random, but with this Hoop can more easily get to his enemies, and against his new targeted type against Aku, it'll be easy for him to get in his possible freeze or shield breaking chance. I made sure it was expensive and low so it wasn't broken, and I gave him surge immunity so he could, of course, not get eradicated by Aku surges. Despite this, his health and range is still pretty terrible, so there's a solid chance that he'd die before being able to possibly pierce an Aku shield or freeze them. Though, if you get the freeze off, he'd be able to do a 4-second freeze or a 6-second one just for 50 NP, and with the weakness of having a kind of slow attack rate, still saying single target and low HP. Mochi. Talents: Defense up standard pricing, total increase 40%, 20k HP at level 30. Weaken. Power standard pricing, total increase 50% to 70% weaken. Area attack 100 NP. Target relic plus curse immunity 100 NP. Total 350 NP. Mochi is easily one of the most forgettable Cyclone units in the entire game, as other debuffers like freeze and slow are far more useful against metals. The most sensible thing that opponents could do when giving this unit talents is for him to be better at weakening metals and for him to gain a new targeted type. Relics do a lot of damage, but if Mochi can get in with his area attack and fast attack rate, then relics will be weakened by 70% for a whopping 6.67 seconds. Against specific units like Old Horn and maybe Otham, this could help a bit, but versus enemies that have more range, by level 50 he'd only have 32k HP or 16k HP per knockback. So really, timing would be important. This video has been pretty long, so let's have a short break and read a verse from the Bible before we continue. John 10:38. But if I do his work, believe in the evidence of the miraculous works I have done, even if you don't believe me. Then you will know and understand that the Father is in me, and I am in the Father. Jesus in John here proclaims that he's in the Father and the Father is in him, which shows that he's of an otherworldly divine nature, and that his spirit is one with the Father or God. It's an occurrence unlike anything else in the entire world, and humans can't explain it, but through this, we can understand that Jesus was both fully man and fully God. Curry. Talents: Attack up, standard pricing, total increase 30%, 1.6k DPS by level 30. Defense up, standard pricing, total increase 30%, 11k HP by level 30. Surge immunity 100 NP. Target a coup 75 NP. Shield breaker 15% chance, 50 NP. Slow duration, standard pricing, total increase 1 second to 2.5 seconds, total 450 NP. Curry's always been a strange unit. On paper, he seems solid with an 8% crit chance and 100% slow on metals for 1 second, though in practice he's usually not necessary as a lot of other cats can replace him. My aim with these talents though is to give him slightly more generalist value and a niche against Aku enemies. With a cost of 720, a recharge time of 7.8 seconds, 375 range, and an effective range of 250 through 450, his seemingly low DPS of 1.6k is actually pretty nice and could help with backliners. With 2.6k DPS by level 50 and easy stackability, you should get some nice LD damage after a little bit to hurt the backline. With target Aku, shield breaker, and immunity to surge, he'd be able to get off his 100% slow chance for 2.5 seconds, making him a great anti-Aku LD backliner assuming there aren't too many enemies or others that can ignore his slow chance. With these abilities, I believe that Courier will become an actually alright unit, both in general situations and in Aku only stages, thanks to his surge immunity, 15% shield breaking chance, and his 100% slow chance ability for 2.5. Defense. Future talent. Defense up. 10 NP per upgrade. 15 after level 5. Total increase 30%. 14k HP by level 30. Recover speed up. Standard pricing. Total increase 40% or a 2-second cooldown. Curse ability. 75 NP with a starting chance of 2 for 1 second. Standard pricing. Curse ability. Max. 8% chance. KB immunity. 50 NP. Total 400 NP. Future Cat is an already incredible unit as he costs less than the erasers, but versus metals and relics he's insanely tough. It's difficult to not make him broken as it is for a lot of these units, but to me these talents would be the most effective and fair for who he is. Defense Up deserves to cost a total of 125 NP for a 30% HP increase because naturally, Future Cat's HP versus targeted types is insane. Naturally, by level 30, he'd have 66k HP effectively, but with this increase he gets 86k HP, and by level 50 this becomes way more insane as at max abilities he'd have 136k HP. Though this is offset by the fact that Future is good naturally thanks to his normal stats by level 50. Defense Up is pretty unnecessary and overkill, and it'd be more effective to invest in other talents over just having better HP. Recovery speed, for example, would be more effective, as at a standard full price of 75 NP, he'd gain a 2-second cooldown, exactly as the Eraser variants, for lesser cost. I gave him the ability to curse so that he could both curse relics, so they like still curse units, and of course, annoying metal enemies. The chance is super low though because of the nature of this unit as a spammable anti-relic and metal tanker. KB immunity is situational, so it's only for 50 NP. With this, Future would work better against enemies like Super Metal Hippo and Emost. Cat Researcher. Talents. Attack Up. Standard pricing. Total 20% increase. 2k DPS by level 30. Defense Up. Standard pricing. Total 20% increase. 12k HP by level 30. Resist versus Metal and Aku. 150 NP. Crit chance. Standard pricing. Total 6% to 14%. Shield Breaker. Standard pricing. Total 15% to 30% chance. Total 450 NP. He's a solid unit and already well rounded, and that goes for most of these cats as they don't really need talents, but to me this makes the most sense for him, as it's a simple general improvement on what he can already do. Initially, I went with giving him a 20% dodge chance against metals and Aku for 2 seconds, but I think that resistance against those 2 types would work better. At level 50 with max defense, this means that he'd have a total HP of 77k, so he'd be able to make great use of his 100 knockbacks and it'd be easier to make a stack. Though against Aku enemies, he still doesn't have surge immunity, which means that they could still shred him. Catyphoon. Talents. Attack Up. Standard pricing. Total increase 30%. 3.3k DPS by level 30. Defense Up. Standard pricing. Total increase 20%. 36k HP by level 30. Crit chance. Standard pricing. Max level 5. Total increase 8% to 14%. Movement speed. Standard pricing. Total increase 56%. 14 to 25 movement speed. Total 425 NP. Catyphoon is already great at what he does, though for other niches he wouldn't be as useful, so I focused more on giving him abilities that would make him better against metals. I gave him a 56% possible movement speed buff so he could wipe metals with more ease and get to fighting easily. And by level 50 he'd have 1.6k damage per crit, or 8.1k DPS if he got all crits, and his HP would be 41k or 13k HP per knockback. Soba. Talents. Attack Up. Standard pricing. Total increase 20%. 10k damage by level 30. Mini Wave. 100% chance. 75 NP unlock. 15 NP per upgrade. Level 5 max. Savage Strike. 100 NP. 50% chance. Barrier Breaker, 50 NP, 100% chance. Total, 410 NP. I don't have Soba as I'm not a fan of how Waitress works, but if she had talents optimally, it'd probably be like this. What these talents are intended to do is grant her general usage and the ability to damage metals even better. In one hit at level 30 with max attack up, she'll do 60k damage if she gets off her Savage Strike chance. And for a 350 ranged 900C cat, this sounds a bit insane. Her damage at level 50 most optimally would be 97k, but with her downsides being an insanely long attack animation and slow attack speed, I think it'd be fair she has a high likelihood of missing her attacks. I gave her mini waves instead of waves because by level 30, the most area, crit plus savage strike damage she can do is 12k over 1350 range, and by level 50 it's 19k. Basically the only things that'll die from this area are peons. And in case she misses the boss, it functions as chip damage. Versus metals though, this would be devastating and wipe basically every metal off the map, so definitely worth it. Barrier Breaker at a 100% chance for 50 NP seems strange, but it's not. She'd be able to pierce up to 1350 range thanks to her mini wave and wipe out every alien barrier through that while totally wrecking whoever she initially hit. These talents would not only make her a more interesting unit, but for some strategies with this single target damage, she could function as a far better, less costly version of Kung Fu Cat X. And of course, it'd make her better against metals, as no matter what, even with a failed Savage Strike at level 30, she'd do 20k damage and a subsequent 4k to every other metal behind it. Conclusion: this video's been pretty long, but hey, I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe and like for more Christian Battle Cat stuff. Join the server if you want to talk to me or other fans of my content, and if you really want to, then become a member of the channel to give me money. Now let's close out with a verse from the Bible. 2 Thessalonians 1:6. In his justice, he will pay back those who persecute you. Don't hold grudges. It's that simple. Have a good day, everyone.